Welcome back to Cinemasaurus Rex. I'm Rocket, and this week we go to the millennium. Yes, it's a new era. Godzilla 2000 is what we'll be looking at today, although the film actually takes place in August 1999. Now, get your head around that. We have the full collection here on the millennium. There's no importing from America, no importing from Hong Kong, none of that funky shit. All 6 of the films are on this box set for the first time. You still can't buy it in the UK, obviously, so it's imported from Australia, but still, nevertheless, a complete box set. Now, let's talk about the film. We start off with the Godzilla Prediction Network. It's a team of rascals that go around. It's kind of like, you know, Twister when they're looking for tornadoes, but looking for Godzilla instead. That's how I kind of relate it. And they've got this woman who wants to take a picture of Godzilla. So they've got her in the car, and they get close to Godzilla when they find Godzilla, and she takes a picture, but he's radioactive, so it kind of wipes all the film in the camera. So it was a wasted journey. So she takes it to the office, because she doesn't know it at this point. So I've got some great pictures of Godzilla. Her boss has a look at these, he's like, well, empty, love. You just bring it back in. All these empties. What's this all about? And this is where, because for some reason, on this version, it's the American version, it's the dubbed version, so I couldn't watch the Japanese version with the subtitles, and the dubbing is very Americanized. It's probably because this film was released in America, so the dubbing is pretty awful. And after the boss tells her, go get some more pictures, he goes, you're such a pain in my ass, and he goes, quit your bitching, and it's like, well, why are you talking like that? So the woman goes back to this Godzilla network people and says, look, can you give me another lift? I need to get a better picture of Godzilla, but let's not drive too close. And they're like, whoa, you can't just keep coming in when you're pleasing. We'd have all bloody press following us, wouldn't we? No, you got to pay membership, love. Alright, so speak to my daughter, she'll go through the membership plans with you. We've got a great array of options. So this little girl breaks down the membership options if you want to take pictures of Godzilla. You have to pay an upfront cost of 200,000 yen, and then you've got to pay 50,000 yen per month just to keep in the club. Now, I looked up the prices on this. 200,000 yen is about £1,500. Don't know what it is in dollars and that. Current rate, it's probably about the same, innit? But it's about 1,500 quid just for join up, and then it's like an extra 400 quid a month just to be keeping a member. It's like, Jesus Christ, them membership premiums are a bitch. She did offer some kind of other options, but you didn't get your expenses included in that, so might not be worth it. Meanwhile, there's this meteor that's in the sea. What scientists discover and say, hey, there's a meteor, let's find out what's on it. So they go under the sea to find it, but the meteor floats to the top on its own. Say, that's a bit odd, isn't it? Then the meteor starts tilting and he's standing upright in the sea. So it's very odd that. You soon kind of find out it's actually following the sun for some reason. Until Godzilla kind of comes about. So Godzilla, he's on his way. He's a bit curious, he's like this. But before he does that, the army try and fight Godzilla, obviously, because that's what they do. And they've got this brand new weapon, this brand new missile, and apparently it'll go through Godzilla like crap through a goose. So they fire this weapon. It doesn't go through him like crap through a goose. In fact, the army are about as effective as the CGI in this film, which is to say, not very good at all. So they give up. Godzilla marches over to the meteor, and then things get interesting. The meteor starts flying, and then it shoots a big laser cannon right at Godzilla, knocks him down out and through a building. It's like it puts Godzilla down. Godzilla's like, what the fuck, it flying rocks putting me down. He gets up. He uses his atomic breath, his blue atomic breath, the original, the proper one, fires it at the rock, doesn't do anything, and the rock fires his laser, puts Godzilla down. Then the meteor, damaged from the laser, just goes flying off and goes landing somewhere, where it's revealed that it's not a meteor, because the rocks are falling off it, and it's actually a big silver CGI spaceship. And God, it looks basic as anything. So that happens, and then for about, I don't know how long, it seemed like about an hour. It probably wasn't, but because the film's only an hour and a half long, but for about a big chunk of time, it's just boredom and boringness happened. Finally, something happens. We get Godzilla versus the spaceship. Now, Godzilla marches over to the spaceship. Doesn't really do much. He fires his red laser now at the spaceship and fires it at the building what he's on. The building blows up. The spaceship comes crashing down. The spaceship then fires all these like whip-like things and starts dragging Godzilla about. Doesn't really do too much. Godzilla now, by the way, is using his red atomic breath from here for the rest of the film. Don't know why. It doesn't look as good. And the fact that it's all CGI now, it just kind of looks a bit piss poor, to be honest. But whatever. So that's happening. It's battling away until the spaceship sends these vines into Godzilla, starts sucking out his regeneration cells, so it can create a monster of its own, which looks awful at first, the CGI monster. And then it eventually turns into a man in a suit, which looks far more impressive. So we then get our first, our only, and finally an actual fight. And remember, the heavyweight title is vacant at this point. Godzilla was stripped of it in the Godzilla vs. Destroyer match because nobody won, and Godzilla couldn't win because he died. So he couldn't retain the title even in death. So we're stripping him of the title. He's now vacant, but Godzilla is back in the title picture. And I know he's dead, so technically it should be his son, but they just call him Godzilla from here on out, and it's just going to get confusing if we keep calling him Godzilla Jr. So it's Godzilla, the original Godzilla. It's going to be the same fight record from 54 onwards. So it's Godzilla versus Auger, I believe. 1 second. Okay, I just had to Google that because they don't actually mention this film at any point in this. So did a quick Google and alright, it is Auger. So title on the line: Godzilla versus Auger. And Auger got the height advantage, definitely got the size. He seems to have the strength. He has these big, massive arms, which he uses as boxing Godzilla about and knocking him around. Knocks him down, puts him through a building. Auger then fires this giant laser out of his back. It's kind of the same what the spaceship has, but it's on his back. He fires that at Godzilla, puts Godzilla down. As Godzilla gets up, the actual spaceship comes flying and smacks Godzilla inside the head, putting him down again. So normally you would say, hey, interference, it's a 2-on-1, but the spaceship isn't a being as such, it's an inanimate object. So it's just kind of like Auger using a weapon, so he's allowed to use weapons, it's no DQ. But Godzilla, atomic breath right through the spaceship, blows up the spaceship. He keeps using his breath, it goes through the spaceship, takes a big chunk of Auger's back off. But because Auger has been claiming these Godzilla cells and, you know, sucking him out of him, he then regenerates. So as Godzilla fires his breath again, taking a big chunk of him again, he regenerates. Godzilla then fires an absolutely massive one right at him. He kind of sets on fire, explosion, boom, 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 everything's going off. And it looks like he's won. But then, he comes out of the flames like the bloody Terminator. And Auger's mouth, I don't know if it's kind of like a Biollante nod, or if it's because Godzilla had a bit of Biolante's cells or something. Not too sure, I'm going to have to look into that a bit. But Auger's mouth opens and his kind of mouth blooms like a flower. Then he starts to swallow Godzilla. Well, Godzilla actually marches headfirst into his mouth. Now you think, well, why is he doing that, a stupid bastard? But Godzilla has a plan, because how did he beat Biollante? By putting his head in his mouth and laser beaming him. And this is exactly what happens here. Only Godzilla, he starts charging up his atomic breath, and it goes all down his spine as it normally does. But this time he holds on to the charge so much his entire body starts glowing. He's just this glowing atomic mass, and he just lets it all loose, shoots a beam, it comes right out the end of Auger, just blows it all up his insides, and it literally just scoops him out, and Auger's just this hollow shell that collapses on the floor and crumbles into nothingness, into dust. So Godzilla is your new heavyweight champion, even though he technically never lost and whatever, but he's still your new heavyweight champion. So Godzilla, your heavyweight champion. So Godzilla, not finished at this point, he's marching over. Great Caesar's ghost, that's a quote from the film, marches over to this big building where all these corporate men are watching, the nasty corporate men, the one that wanted to kill Godzilla. And there's a man there, and he's cocky as anything, pulls out his little cigarette, and he's like, never seen Godzilla this close before. Godzilla, he must know who he is. I don't know if he's been giving him shit on social media or something, but Godzilla knew exactly who he was. He must have googled him, he must have done. And Godzilla just slams his arm through the building, and the little man screaming Godzilla falls off and dies. So Godzilla, like, single-handedly picks out this corporate man and killed him. Then he walks off after defeating the monster, becoming the champion, defeating the corporate man, and then these the Godzilla Prediction Network, they're having a little moment watching him, and this woman goes, "Yeah, why does he always help us? Why does he protect the human race?" And this guy goes, "Well, we must all have a bit of Godzilla in us." So it looks like they're having a happy moment as Godzilla saved the day. Godzilla gets earshot of this. He's like, "You what? Saved the day? I came for to claim my frigging title back." He then gets an atomic breath and just does a circle, just destroying a shitload of the city. Just destroys half the city. Then looks at the camera, smug as fuck, saying, "Yep, fuck you. I am not the saviour of your city. Don't say that again. I will bite your fucking nose off." Despite the end, and it's a bit funny at the end how they all think he's the saviour and he just destroys the city anyway. And I guess the fight with Augur is kind of interesting. Augur's quite interesting himself, but there's just too much boring and nothingness in the film. It's just long, well, pretty much up until the end. It's pretty bland and generic, and the special effects are probably the worst special effects I've seen in a Godzilla film, period. So it's a thumbs down. It's not a great start for the Millennium series. It's not a great start for the reboot of the franchise. You know, it's trying to revitalise Godzilla after '98 fucked them all over. Not a great start. But next week, Godzilla versus Megaguirus, and hopefully they can redeem themselves. So we'll see you Thursday for 5 facts, and then next week, Godzilla Megaguirus, title on the line.